She was like the moon, beautiful, distant, and mysterious. But some nights, when the stars burned too brightly, Olamide would hear her footsteps, echoing from the forest where no man dared to go. Olamide had always believed that love was simple. It was the kind of thing that grew in the heart like a seed, and if nurtured, would bloom into something beautiful. But the moment he laid eyes on Adebimpe, that belief shattered. She was unlike any woman he had ever seen, graceful, enigmatic, and wrapped in a long gown of shimmering silver that seemed to glow under the moonlight. The first time they met, it was by accident. Olamide had been walking home late one evening after gathering herbs from the forest when he saw her standing at the edge of the village. The gown she wore rippled in the wind like it was made of liquid starlight. He couldn't help but stare. Her beauty was like a dream, haunting and impossible to forget. And when she spoke, her voice, soft and melodic, he felt as though he were hearing the most captivating melody in the world. "You are lost," she had said, her eyes twinkling like the stars above. "But you will find your way if you follow me." And so, he did. For weeks after that fateful meeting, Olamide could not shake the image of Adebimpe from his mind. He found himself drawn to her like a moth to a flame, unable to resist her allure. Her presence was intoxicating, and whenever she wore that gown, she seemed to glow with a strange, otherworldly light. But there was something unsettling about her too. Each time they met, she would vanish mysteriously at night, always toward the forest, where the villagers spoke of strange happenings and ancient curses. One evening, unable to ignore his growing suspicion, Olamide decided to follow her. He waited until the moon was high and the air crisp with the promise of danger. From a distance, he trailed her as she walked into the woods, the hem of her gown sweeping across the forest floor like a trail of silver mist. The deeper they went into the forest, the more Olamide felt an oppressive weight in the air. The trees grew thicker, their twisted branches forming a canopy that blocked out the stars. He could hear her footsteps ahead of him, soft and deliberate, but when he quickened his pace, she seemed to glide further away, always just out of reach. Suddenly, she stopped. Olamide froze in his tracks. He was now standing at the edge of a clearing, the moonlight barely reaching through the dense foliage. In the center of the clearing stood a stone altar, covered in moss, and around it were strange symbols carved into the earth, symbols he had only heard of in whispered village legends. Adebimpe turned slowly, her eyes locking onto his with an expression of calmness, yet something dark flickered behind her gaze. "You shouldn't have followed me, Olamide," she said, her voice eerily soft. He took a step forward, heart pounding in his chest. "What is this? What is going on?" She smiled, but there was no warmth in it. "I warned you. But now you know too much. I cannot let you leave." The gown she wore shimmered in the moonlight, its fabric now almost glowing with an unnatural radiance. Olamide took another step, his breath coming faster. "What is the gown? Why do you wear it?" Adebimpe's smile deepened into something predatory. "This gown is a gift, Olamide. A gift of power, of beauty, and of possession. When I wear it, I become more than just a woman. I become the keeper of secrets, the bearer of a curse older than your village, older than time itself." Olamide's blood ran cold. He remembered the stories told in hushed voices around the village campfires. Stories of a woman who wore a gown woven from the threads of lost souls, threads that could trap the hearts of men, binding them forever to the wearer. "No," he whispered, stepping back. You're a witch." She laughed softly, the sound like the rustling of leaves in a windless forest. "I am no mere witch. I am the keeper of desires, of temptation. And you, Olamide, are just another soul to add to my collection." Before he could react, the gown seemed to come alive, its fabric rippling and shifting like a living thing. The air grew thick with a strange, intoxicating scent, something sweet and familiar, like a lover's embrace. Olamide's vision blurred, his body heavy, and his mind began to cloud. Adebimpe stepped closer, her eyes now glowing faintly. Do you see now? Do you understand the power of this gown? It is not just fabric, it is a spell, a bond that ties those who trust me to me forever. Suddenly, Olamide felt his heart race, his breath quicken. The gown seemed to pulse, wrapping around him in an invisible grip, pulling him closer to Adebimpe. His legs faltered, and he collapsed to his knees, unable to break free from its hold. He could hear her whispering, her voice echoing in his ears. You will never trust girls that wear long gowns again, Olamide. Not after tonight. For you will belong to me. As the darkness closed in, Olamide realized too late that love had never been simple. It had never been about the heart, the way he had once thought. It was about power, and Adebimpe's gown held the ultimate control. And now, he was just another lost soul, trapped in the threads of a cursed love.